Okay, so we're going to do a real quick demo of Hyperscript and morphdom, and we're ultimately going to be building up towards changing our view state with morphdom as well. I'm going to start off by installing a couple of modules. We're going to install Hyperscript and morphdom and Budo. While we're waiting for those to install, I'm going to start writing some code. Actually, let's go const, we'll go year 6. And we want morphdom, and just remembered we might need another module as well, but we can install that in a moment. So let's make a basic Hyperscript element. Const template. Let's call it something more descriptive. Greeting. It takes a name and it returns a Hyperscript element, which is like this. HDiv, and it has the content. We use ES6 as template strings. Hello, and puts the name in there. Cool. So we might want to make a new example of the greeting. We'll do this by going. I will call this greeting 1. Greet. So we want to see what that looks like, so maybe let's just start with a console.log of greeting 1. Let's see how that install going. Cool, so we've installed those 3. We're going to also install ES2040, which is a Babelify plugin, basically, which will give us some of the fat arrows that we're going to need for running ES6 in all the browsers. Cool. Actually, maybe we'll go a little bit further than console logging. That's kind of a crappy test. Let's go straight for document.body.append child greeting. So this is just proving that our Hyperscript is working. Now we need to set up some basic scripts so that we can run this. We could go and make an Express server, but we're going to go a little bit more lightweight. Budo is going to help us do this. Basically, you can point Budo at a file, in our case index.js, and it will build an HTML file and put the index.js in there for us once it's been bundled. So Budo does a bunch of bundling stuff for us. So let's call this start, just as a start script. And we're going to say, Budo, could you grab that index.js file and just serve that up, please? Let's serve it on port 4000. And I'm also going to ask it to live reload that page as we change it. So we also want to add some browserify settings. Specifically, we are going to add a transform ES6 in the browser. Now transform this ES2040. Okay, let's see if this works. npm start. Okay, so here we can see that it's starting on port 4000, and this is my local IP address. So let's have a look in the browser and see if that's working. Hello Mix. Looks like it's rendering fine. Let's just confirm that our setup is working by changing this to another name. Cool. You can see that Budo is live reloading the page, but this isn't morphdom, this is just our server being smart enough to tell our browser to start things up again. So now let's add a second greeting. Greeting 2 equals greet Waka Waka. And then what we want to do basically is say, morphdom, could you please morph greeting 1 into greeting 2. Let's just try that out. Saving. Oh. Okay, we're not really sure if it's working. So let's just prove that it is working. Console.log about to morph the DOM. This maybe isn't a very good test. Okay, so it did do that. So what we're going to do instead of just, because the problem is it's like immediately morphing it, so what we're going to do is add a set timeout. And this will, the format of set timeout is it takes a function and it takes a period of time in milliseconds. So as in like run this function after 2 seconds. So our function is gonna, it doesn't take any arguments in our case. And it's going to be the stuff in here. Cool. And that is a minimal morphdom setup with Hyperscript. We're going to go a little bit further and refactor this. I'm going to make a template file for our greeting. And we are going to remove that out into its own file. And we don't need H in here anymore, Hyperscript. So what's nice about this is we have a template, and all this template does is describe how to lay out some HTML on a page, basically, or a chunk of HTML on a page. And over here we're going to now want to require that in. Const greet equals require greeting template. Great, it's working again. Yeah, so that's it.